What's up guys, my name is Ace, and welcome back to another gun guide. This is the series where I go into great detail with all of the stats as well as some excellent attachment combinations for every gun in Modern Warfare 2. And in today's episode, we're moving on to the next semi-auto marksman rifle, which is the LMS. And starting it off as always, let's have a look at our damage profile. And with this gun, we have our base damage as well as our torso damage, and it's going to be a 2 to 3 shot kill depending on the body multiplier as well as the range. However, in the maximum damage range, it is a guaranteed 2-shot kill, and also within that maximum damage range, we can get a 1-shot kill to the head. Now, out of the semi-auto marksman rifles, this is the shortest 1-shot headshot potential, but we still do have that potential, at least in the closer ranges. As for our rate of fire, this is the fastest in the marksman rifle category at 333 rounds per minute. This is still fairly slow for a semi-auto though. I think most people can pretty easily maintain the maximum fire rate with this. And what this means for our time to kill potential is with a 2-shot kill, we're killing in just 180 milliseconds, which is a very solid time to kill potential for body shots. And that's actually where this gun really excels. And then with our 3-shot kill, this will increase up to 360 milliseconds, which is fairly slow, but it's not nearly as punishing as a 3-shot kill with the EBR or the TAC-M. Then let's have a look at our bullet velocity, which is very solid at 680 meters per second. And after that, let's have a look at our ranges. And as we can see here, our maximum damage range, where it's a guaranteed 2-shot anywhere in the body or a 1-shot kill to the head, this extends out to 48 meters, which honestly should cover the vast majority of gunfights you'll ever find, at least within these 6v6 maps. Having said that, beyond that range from 48 meters up to about 69 meters, it's still a 2-shot kill with torso shots, but now limb shots will make it a 3-shot kill, and you no longer have that 1-shot headshot potential. And then beyond 69 meters, it's now going to be a 3-shot kill even with torso shots, and the only way you're getting a 2-shot kill is with a headshot mixed in. Next up, let's have a look at our hipfire, and as we can see here, the LMS is just a little bit worse than the SPR and the SAB, but it is better than all of the semi-auto marksman rifles at least, which is nice to see. Then let's have a look at our idle sway, which as we can see here, there is a lot of idle sway unless you hold your breath, in which case you can practically eliminate the idle sway, but only for a few seconds. As for recoil, when looking at this gun, it may not look like it kicks very high up, and it doesn't. It doesn't have a super high magnitude of recoil, but the really big thing to be aware of is the massive jump between the first and second shot fired. This is actually a really big deal, especially considering the fact that this is usually a 2-shot kill gun, and it often means, especially when you stretch out the range, you can't fire this gun at the maximum fire rate and still be accurate with your second shot. Your second shot's just going to go way over their head or shoulder. So as a result with this, you may have to pace your shots a little bit if the target is quite small, maybe they have cover or they're at longer ranges, or you want to focus primarily on attachments that are going to help with vertical recoil control. That's what this gun needs more than anything if you're focusing on recoil. After that though, let's get into our handling stats, and our aim down sight time is a little bit above average. It's actually not bad for a marksman rifle at 290 milliseconds. Our sprint to fire time is also pretty decent for a marksman rifle. It's actually the same as assault rifles in this game at 210 milliseconds. And then finally, for our reload add time, while this is better than average for marksman rifles at 1.65 seconds, I still wouldn't consider this to be a fast reload time by any means. And then finally, for the base stats of this gun, let's have a look at our movement speeds. And these are actually exactly the same as the EBR-14, and that means they are a little bit slower than average across the board. This gun definitely doesn't excel in the mobility department. And with that, it's now time to move on to some of the attachments I want to cover as well. We're going to start this off with barrels and how they impact our ranges. And as we can see here, we have 2 barrels with this gun. The first one, which is the MWII factory barrel, this one reduces our range by 12%, whereas the Lockman Nova barrel will reduce our ranges by 18%. These are fairly noticeable reductions, and you definitely want to be aware of those. As for how they impact our recoil, if we look at it right here, it doesn't look like there's a massive difference between the base recoil and the barrel recoil. And statistically speaking, the MWII doesn't actually have any impact on the recoil itself, whereas the Lockman Nova does technically hurt our recoil a bit, but looking at this, it isn't really that big of a difference. If anything, while the initial jump might be a little higher, at least the grouping after the jump seems to be slightly better with the barrels attached. And then finally, for these barrel attachments, let's have a look at how they impact our aim down sight speed, and we can see both of them actually improve our aim down sight speed, especially the Lockman Nova. That's quite a nice improvement there. And then finally, for our attachment stats, let's have a look at the magazines and how they impact our aim down sight speed. And as we can see here, both of these magazines increase our magazine capacity, but they also very, very noticeably increase our aim down sight time. And as a result, when we look at how slow this gun tends to fire anyway, and the fact that you kill in generally 2 bullets, I just don't think it's worth it to go with the bigger magazines, especially that 20 round mag. And with that, it's finally time to move into some excellent attachment combinations I've got for you guys. And with this gun, unlike the other semi-auto marksman rifles, I actually lean a bit more toward my aggression build, which is this one right here. As you can see, we're rocking that Lockman Nova barrel for the best improvement to our aim down sight time. We've got the TZL90 V3 muzzle. This is because I didn't want to hurt my aim down sight speed too much, but I still wanted a little bit of help with recoil, so this is a nice compromise in the middle. We've got the OLEV laser, the Sharkfin 90 underbarrel, and the Mirror Recoil 56 factory stock. That one helps a very noticeable amount to our aim down sight strafe speed. And with all of this combined, we get a very noticeably improved aim down sight speed, which is great at 255 milliseconds. Our sprint out time is also improved a little bit, which is nice to see. Our aim down sight strafe speed is massively improved. And our recoil is still slightly better than the base recoil, so it's not that bad, although I wouldn't be spamming this at maximum fire rate for a really long range gunfight. In fact, I'll typically want to avoid longer range gunfights. And honestly with this, I also tend to avoid going for headshots as well, just due to that really punishing first shot recoil. If you miss that initial headshot, you're going to find yourself in big trouble. Whereas with this setup, if you just keep yourself up close and personal and get those consistent 2-shot kills anywhere in the body, you're going to get an amazing time to kill at 180 milliseconds. And I feel like using this gun in that manner is really underrated. I feel like people often go for precision and accuracy, and that's not where this gun really excels, in my opinion. Having said that though, I still wanted to share an accuracy build for you guys, for the people that are interested in being at least a bit more accurate, maybe trying to pick off those headshots for the 1-shot kill, or maybe just trying to get long shot camos, for instance. This is the accuracy build that I've got for you guys. And honestly, this is identical to the accuracy build that I made for the EBR-14, simply because it requires the same sort of attachments to be as effective as possible here. So with this, very importantly, we have the Tempest GH50 muzzle. This is the one that helps the most with our vertical recoil control, which this gun desperately needs if you're going for accuracy. We've got the Phase 3 grip, partially to help with recoil stabilization, but primarily to help with our aiming stability, combined with the OLEV laser, which also helps in that area. We've got the VLK4X optic for that added precision, so you can really pick off those headshots or those really small targets at longer ranges. And then finally, we've got the LM Cronus grip, which helps us with our flinch resistance, and that is quite important when you're using a precision weapon. Now with this, you can see our recoil is very nicely improved. There is still a bit of a jump though between that first and second shot fired, although we have kept that as low as we possibly can with this gun. And unfortunately, the trade-off for this additional accuracy is our aim down sight speed is quite slow at right around 360 milliseconds. Like I said, this is not my preferred way of using this gun. I just wanted to share that you can create an accuracy build if you want to go for those longer range kills. And with that, that's finally going to wrap it up today's gun guide on the LMS. As for my thoughts on this gun, I often see people say that this is one of the worst, if not the worst gun in the entire game. And I disagree. While I would never call this gun like a top tier meta gun, I'm not saying it's amazing or anything. I think it really does have a place, and that is playing a bit more aggressively and just going for those body shots. If you get that 2-shot kill to the body, you get an amazing time to kill potential. It is quite accurate, although if you're spamming at longer ranges, it's going to hold it back. And I think the issue here with a lot of people is they see it as a marksman rifle, and therefore they think precision, they think long range, and that's just not where this gun excels, in my opinion at least. Play a bit more aggressively with it, aim for the body shots rather than headshots, and you'll likely find a lot more success with the LMS. Now, of course, that is just my opinion of this gun. I'd love to hear what you guys think of it, though, in the comments down below. And also, if you guys have missed any of the previous episodes of Gun Guides, I will leave a link to the playlist in the description of the video. If you enjoyed this one, a like rating is always appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.